I was born 2 years after the end of the Second World War. And I remember my mother, when I was very small, my mother read a book every evening. Yeah. I think when I was in the elementary school, I read 1/3 of the books in the library. I learned that Euclid wrote a book on the geometry, plane geometry. Hilbert found that there is some gap in the axiom of Euclid, and he added some axioms, and I learned it in some encyclopedia. It was fun for me. In fact, I wrote a notebook on the proof by using those axioms. Yeah, I liked mathematics in those days. The most impact is by Mikio Sato. I met him when I was 30 years of the university. So that is, I think, a starting point of my real career or mathematical life. Sato likes very much calculation. He introduced many new ideas, but those new ideas are based on many calculations. He created the so-called Sato Grassmannian. I think most important thing in mathematics is the creation. I think he taught how to create. I think that I learned from him that part. So he was like my mentor. In mathematics, there are many things, and some parts are not well understood. I think there is some hidden part, and I want to find those hidden parts. And I think that is my motivation. Yeah.
Masaki as a mathematician is totally exceptional. He's very special. He's incredible. If you ask a bad question, he doesn't answer. That's clear. But if you ask a good question, which sometimes can appear, and if the question is interesting, then he will solve it.
Yeah, somewhat true.
No, he has a very good intuition. In general, when he says something, it's true, contrarily to me, which says a lot of stupid things.
I think to write something is important for me. I mean, that is somewhat my way of thinking mathematics. So sometimes you use this computer, but I prefer to write. All the notebooks. Yeah, for example, that is when I started the so-called mixed Hoji modules. Those are rather complicated stuff, and I can't remember anymore. They are completed by Mikio Sato, but it's not easy to follow now. I have many collaborators, and I still collaborate with, for example, Pierre Chapia or Myung-ho Kim, Sejin William Park. I think without them, I think it's not easy to continue.
So the macro-local point of view was introduced by Sato in the 70s, and with Kashiwara, we did it in the Schiff's theoretical framework, which is, I think, honestly, we did something important. And we wrote a book in the 90s, which is called Sheaves and Manifolds, and which has an enormous success. And I think we have the same feeling, same sense of mathematics, of what is interesting, what is not interesting. But Masaki has a range much wider than mine, of course.
Pierre has some good intuition. I'm quicker than him.
That's clear, no doubt.
I think that is a good combination. Yeah.
Sometimes I have some feeling, but I'm totally unable to prove it. So I ask Masaki, and it's finished in 5 minutes.
But we wrote already 2 books, and we are now preparing the 3rd book.
And we are still friends. Yeah, incredible, no?
As collaborators, of course, but not only for that. We are good friends. Yeah. I'm now 78 years old and more than 50 years in mathematics, and I'm very happy that this is well appreciated by this Abel Prize.